Hi, I'm Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and it is my pleasure to come to you today to introduce a great young man who has a didactic delivery in dance, and it is absolutely impactful. It will impress you, it will influence you, and it surely will portray gospel music as you've never seen or heard it before. He's a talented young man, and maybe you've never heard of him before, but you are surely about to hear and know him. His name is Sherrod Brown, but we call him Prince Rod. So at this time, I want to introduce you to Prince Rod.
What's up, Pastor? How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Now listen, we'll get back to him in a minute, but there's something that I want to show you real quickly. So pay attention, and as soon as we finish showing you this wonderful, wonderful dance delivery, we'll be right back. Listen, I hope you enjoyed what you just saw. That's just a little tip of the iceberg, a glimpse into the ministry and the profession of Prince Rod. But now I've got a couple of questions here that I'm going to read from the paper because I am not an expert. But the one thing that I do know is I know anointing and I do know talent. So just let me get into the mind of this young man here. Now, Rod, let me ask you a couple of questions that I have here. I want you to take your time answering them because I want people to know who you are.
Okay, great.
But the first question I want to ask you is, what made you want to become a dancer?
Actually, I started out in the church. When I was in church, I saw the praise dancers up doing their thing, and the step team and the mime team doing their thing, and I wanted to be a part. I was a little young at the time. Pretty soon that kind of wore out with me because I was looking for something greater, which was the actual art of dance. It's just where I found my passion. It's just what really made me become who I am.
And in that, out of all of the different styles, forms, and platforms of dance that you could have had, and probably still can, why would you choose the church and the platform of the church or the religious platform to dance, as opposed to the creativity in the secular and in the African dance, in the classic dance? Why would you choose the church?
Simply because, and not even to sound so deep, just simply because I feel like he chose me. I feel like it's really important to let everyone know that you can just be as technically trained, as gifted, and as talented as the world is, and bring it right back and do it for the kingdom, because our God is just as cool as the world is.
Now, is there a difference between the world or a secular dance, interpretive dance?
Absolutely.
What is that difference?
One word: technique. And it's sad to say, I feel like as it relates to the world and the art of dance, they kind of have the upper hand on us because they have mastered the art of technical dance, versus the church, who more so masters the desire to dance, and sometimes that's all that matters, and that's all that qualifies you for a dance ministry at church. But I feel like if we kind of combine our desire and our passion to dance with the technique and the art of worship, we could really, really shake some things up. But unfortunately, that's the dividing factor.
Out of all of the different dance troupes that you've seen, you know, Alvin Ailey's, and the list goes on, which I don't even know. You know, I'm an old fella, so you know, Fosse. And,
of course,
Graham.
Of course.
Who is it? Sabian Glover. Who is it that's impacted you the most?
Actually, I wouldn't say that it's a specific dancer or a specific group of dancers. The people that inspire me the most actually are the people who are studied and educated in their craft. People such as yourself, people like Donald Lawrence, Richard Smallwood, who have the ability not only to sing and, you know, just up and start a choir, but they can compose symphonies, you know, with different and complicated melodies, and then create gospel music from that because they've educated themselves in their crafts. Those are the type of people that I look up to and that I'm inspired by.
Now tell everybody that's watching, what are some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome?
Simply being different. I never, ever, absolutely ever fit in. And it kind of worked against me simply because I tried so hard for so long to fit in, and it didn't work. So of course I got beat up. I beat people up, you know, got put out of school. I went from being to a public school, to a charter school, to a private school, to a fine arts school. But I feel like it made me exactly who I am, so I can be able to tell that next young black male who wants to be a dancer, who wants to be you know, an artist, who even wants to be a visual artist, who wants to do something that's uncommon for a young black man to do, that you can do it. It's okay to be different.
Now, through this introduction, you want people to see you as a dancer. Through this introduction, you want them to see the excellence of your gift of dance, your choreography, and your execution of the dance. But you also have a singing voice. You have a singing voice that could give you a great foothold in the singing career or the singing gospel music industry per se. Tell me about that.
Actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I began singing, or I began singing before I ever even figured out that I knew how to dance. I was about 5 years old, and my grandmother, who's pastoring now, she was over the youth choir, and at the time, you know, youth choirs were it. You know, you had John P. Key and his choir going on, Kirk Franklin, and so youth choirs were it. But I was only about 5 or 6 years old, so I was a little too young to be a part of it then. So she taught me the simple song, like 4 lines. It simply says, "Jesus, I love you. There's no one above you. I truly adore you. How I love you." And on the Sunday morning that they sung, she invited me up to sing it. And that was one of my first times ever singing in front of a congregation. You know, I went overboard. She had to take the mic from me, all that good kind of stuff. And it never stopped from there. And dancing kind of just came into play afterwards.
Well, okay. For the sake of everybody watching, sing a song.
Actually, I'll do a song that when I heard you do on the Stellars a couple years ago, and I was watching it on TV, and it moved me so incredibly. You won. I can't remember what award you won. I believe you were being honored. And you got up and you said, "Only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Him will be counted in the end. Only what you do for Christ will last." Okay.
So you have a singing voice. So you have a singing voice, and it's quite a good one.
Thank you.
And it's so now you've got a dual career.
Wow.
A dual career of choreography and dance execution, as well as vocality and musical, gospel musical abilities. Well, my final question, I'm going to revert back to the paper if you don't mind. But what is the great impact that you want to have and leave on the world before you die?
When I am said and done, I want people to be able to say, "He left empty." I want people to be able to say that I didn't leave anything inside of me that God has gifted me and placed inside of me, you know, inside of me. Every ability that I have, I want to be able to put to work, and for it to, you know, be able to, you know, have fruition, because I want to inspire that young black male to say that I can dream. If he did it, I know I can do it. Not just dancing, not singing. If they want to be a golfer, a visual artist, a musician, a culinary artist, I want them to be able to dream and look at my story and be able to say, all because Prince Rod did it, I can do it too.
Wonderful. Well, my brothers and sisters, To every one of you that have watched this, it's because this ministry can impact your ministry. His dance, his song, his effervescence, his life. It's genuine and it's non-pretentious. So I invite every one of you that want to know more about the gift and the ministry of Prince Sherrod Brown. Make sure that you pay attention to the address and the information that you'll see on the screen as we go. We're going to show you some more of his dance, but more than anything else, see his heart and let God bless you. You'll need this ministry at some point or another in your church, amongst your youth, amongst your fine arts departments. And I guarantee you'll be blessed and favored by having a young man like this influence and impact the ministry and take it to another level. I'm Pastor Donnie McClurkin with Prince Sherrod Brown, bidding you a God-blessed day. God bless you. Bye-bye.
So